Make a difference.
BBC Radio Surrey.
And making a difference has literally taken so many different forms. Much of it, of course, has been inspired by COVID and by lockdown. And my next two guests are here to talk about an amazing book called Ed's Great Escape and some other work that they've been involved in around helping children to learn and supporting parents along the way as well. I think that's rather appropriate as they're heading back to school. So Trevor Hodsdon and Marzena Milowska join me on the programme now. Good afternoon to you both.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello, thanks for sharing Sunday afternoon and allow me to interrupt whatever you were up to, probably your roast dinner. Not that I'm jealous that I never get a roast dinner on a Sunday. So thank you so much for being with me. Tell us a little bit, first of all, about Ed's Great Escape.
Well, Ed's Great Escape features a young giraffe called Ed, who decides that he's a little different to everybody else. He gets teased about it. The way that he decides to express himself is to escape from the zoo. which he does, and then careers around London, getting involved in all sorts of adventures, including photobombing the Queen and joining in with the choir at St Paul's and all sorts of things. And during the journey, there are opportunities to teach children about giraffes and other animals, and also some sort of moral lessons as well.
So this has been inspired really throughout the whole lockdown process, and I know that one of your goals for both of you was to provide parents with an opportunity to go online and to have new books and not to have to pay for them, because let's face it, I mean, my son is 26. I have not had to go through the whole homeschooling, but it must have been incredibly difficult for those that have, and of course with the children going back to school tomorrow, this is rather apt. So Marzena, I know that you're the co-creator of this. What's your involvement been?
So as a child, I was bullied by kids when I was at school, and I was called the giraffe because I was always taller than other kids. So one day I created this character that related to me and my childhood experiences. I think it was sort of closure and escapism for me, and I wanted to empower kids to realize that actually being different can be positive and is positive. And I thought that it would be funny if Ed the giraffe had an adventure and maybe would want to escape the zoo and explore London, which actually in similar content I did when I was around 5 years old. And that's when I met Trevor. He came along and he came up with Ed's adventures across London and wrote the book.
What a lovely inspiration for this character Ed. And I love the idea that Ed's a little bit different and he likes to have his antics around the London area. Trevor, you were talking about some sort of moral lessons in there, and it being particularly good, I noticed from your press release, where if the book is being read to a child. Explain sort of the positives of that.
Well, what we wanted to do was create a book which could operate on different levels. And that's true of the 3 stories that we've made available online as well during lockdown. So the concept being that if you're very young, you can enjoy the pictures. If you're not quite so young, then you can read the stories and enjoy the pictures. And if you're having the story read to you, then it provides the opportunity for interaction between the reader and the child, because all of the situations are designed for the child to say to the reader, so why is he doing that? What's he up to there? And of course it will allow people to demonstrate that doing good things is really the best way to go. And at the same time, it'll give you the opportunity to talk about some of the learning points in the story, particularly, as I say, around the places in London. So, for example, I don't know how many people know that St Paul's Cathedral had its spire hidden for years and years and years by Christopher Wren, because it was heresy to actually have a roof that was rounded.
I actually want to go out around London with Ed and have a bit of an experience now. I'm certainly being inspired to. I'm sure many children have as well. Marzena, with the feedback that you've had during this period of sort of lockdown from children and parents who have accessed this lovely story, what's that feedback been like?
Oh, they all love the story, and I think the fact that Ed is different and is special, they can relate with it. And the story is beautifully written, it's very empowering, and I try to make illustrations as detailed and as easy and funny as possible, because I was finishing the book during lockdowns, I was illustrating it. And I thought it's such a time, let's just make the best out of it. Let's just give kids something to laugh about and have fun.
Yeah, and because we couldn't get it out there as what we normally do during lockdown, we thought, well, actually, why don't we give away these free stories? Because Ed's a contemporary character, we created stories that one was around Christmas, one was around the snow, and there's one where Ed learned about lockdown. And without giving too many spoilers away, I suspect there might be one about Ed coming out of the lockdown pretty soon going online.
Oh, bless him. What was that for good behaviour, I'm sure. I know that you're both new authors, and there's another inspiration here, and that is about difficulties of being able to find publishing deals if you're an author, and all of that kind of book promotion stuff, particularly during a pandemic. So this is a way that perhaps inspires authors might think, do you know what, actually this is a way forward for me too.
Well, I'd like to think so. I mean, if we can help people find easier ways to get their work out there, because I'm absolutely convinced, despite myself, there are many closet writers out there who would love to see their work read by others. I mean, it's a great pleasure.
Well, listen, guys.
I'm happy to illustrate.
Yeah? Go ahead.
In the book.
Fabulous. Okay, well, look, guys, it's been amazing to have you on the programme. Thank you for inspiring children and parents alike, and me. I'm definitely going out with Ed. If anyone listening wants to go online and take a look, what's the address?
www.edsgreatescape.com.
It's been a pleasure to have you both on the programme. Stay safe and well.
Thank you, Sylvie.
Sylvie Blackmore. BBC Radio Surrey.